You asked for a quick retirement planning guide? Well, here you go. Well, this is going to be a reference guide for all things for self-employed, really for solopreneurs. This is about SEP-IRAs, simple IRAs, simple 401ks, 401ks, defined benefit plans, etc. You're going to know really what you have to know in a quick time frame as to how to utilize qualified plans to help your retirement, you, the solopreneur, entrepreneur. Saving for retirement, it's essential. It's essential for everyone, and I'm here to tell you about it. My name is Kenner French with vastsolutionsgroup.com, and you're unlocking business secrets for solopreneurs. You're visiting the vast vault. The IRS, few people realize this, the IRS offers several retirement options really to secure your financial future for you as a small business owner. So, all the way from, as I mentioned, SEP-IRAs, simple IRAs, 401k plans, but very few people really know what they are. So we're going to go over the specifics as we're getting a lot of calls at vastsolutionsgroup.com as to, what are these retirement plans? They're getting a little bit more complex than they ever have been. Can you guys help us? And that's exactly one of the things that we do. By the way, we do tax, finance, and artificial intelligence to help the entrepreneur. And let's go over some qualified plans and really what are the specifics. First let's go over SEP-IRAs. SEP-IRAs. They're really ideal for the small business and really self-employed individuals. By the way, SEP really equals Simplified Employee Pension. Generally, they're employer funded with flexible annual contribution limits outlined by the IRS. Contributions are typically tax deductible for employers. They're really, really easy to set up and maintain with almost no or really low administrative costs. Employees, by the way, are immediately vested in their specific accounts. And then let's go to simple IRAs. A lot of people ask, what is a simple IRA? By the way, simple stands for Savings Incentive Match Plan for Employees. They're designed really for small businesses with really under 100 or fewer employees. Both employers and employees can contribute. I'll remind you, both employers and employees can contribute. Employers must choose between matching contributions or making non-elective contributions. And also, mandatory annual contribution requirements are in fact the case for employers. A lot of people don't realize that. We take over some of these simple plans and employers are not making their contribution, and they must do so along the lines of simple IRA regs. And lower contribution limits really are generally compared to other retirement plans. And by the way, this is huge. If you do have, generally speaking, a simple IRA, you can't start another plan. Now, they've made it a little bit easier now, but what I would say is, look at the irs.gov website or contact us, because it could get a little bit more confusing as it relates to something that's simple, a simple IRA plan. Now that you could have kind of two plans in one with a simple IRA. So anyway, again, check out our website or talk to your advisor. And I would, by the way, mention that you should talk to any advisor. Don't do anything based on a podcast or a blog. Make sure you talk to your advisor. They know your situation better than anyone, probably, maybe even more than you. So I would say, even with simples, with 401ks, with any of this material that we're going over today and ever, I would say go ahead and make sure you talk to your advisor. Now, simple 401k plans are really similar to IRAs, simple IRAs, in that they have a lot of 401k features. They're designed for small businesses with 100 or fewer employees. Both employers and employees can contribute to these simple 401k plans. Employers must choose between matching contributions or making non-elective contributions. And really by the way, it does allow for loans and hardship withdrawals, that being simple 401k, which is really nice. What about individual 401k plans, or sometimes, solo 401ks or solo Ks, or whatever the case is that, in the marketing jargon that you're reading or hearing about? There's really all they are based bottom line. A solo plan, solo 401k plan, it just means there's one person, maybe one person and their spouse. So they just call it a solo 401k. Basically got thrown out there for marketing purposes, but it's just a 401k with a spousal couple or just one individual that owns the company. They're suitable for self-employed individuals and owner-only businesses. Both employers and employees, in case of owner-only businesses, the owner and their spouses, I mentioned, can contribute. Higher contribution limits as compared to SEP-IRAs or simple IRAs. And they also allow for loans and hardship withdrawals, which makes them very, very nice relative to just simple IRAs, by the way. And they're a little bit more complex administratively as compared to SEP-IRAs and simple IRAs. And really, I'll just mention one last thing: defined benefit plan. You have to have a certified actuary who helps you put those together. We have one in-house that, if you need any help on putting one together, they're a little bit more complex. You could put away huge amounts. We just had a brand new client come in. He could put away over $300,000, which is exactly what he wanted, because he wants to, he hadn't caught up for retirement, hasn't done anything for retirement, and now he can put away, over 331,000 was the number. And then in his circumstance, he's kind of got a tax issue. So luckily, he's going to be able to use the defined benefit plan for tax issues as well. So, put away a lot of money for retirement, and also, help his tax liability, really erasing it to almost nothing. So, in closing, choosing the right retirement plan for small businesses or self-employed individuals, it depends on a number of factors. What does it include as far as the plan? Which one makes sense? You got to look at the size of your business, the number of employees. If we're talking about solo plans, you don't want to have employees included in the plans. There may be some issues. You might be able to do some carve outs, et cetera, but sometimes having employees might make it a little bit more expensive if your sole aim is to put away money for you and get a deduction, Mr. or Mrs. Solopreneur or preneur. And also, if you're worried about administrative complexity, sometimes some of these plans could get a little burdensome, but generally speaking, these are pretty good plans for someone who's a solopreneur who's looking for, basically catch up on their retirement, and also potentially looking for, a tax liability minimization strategy. I would say, again, review each specific plan, each feature, make sure you're doing the right thing for you, and, talk to an advisor who knows these plans, who can help you. And by the way, we're one click away. If you need us, we're at vastsolutionsgroup.com, and my name is Kenner French. I've been at Vast since 2006. We've been around since 1969, founded in Bellevue, Washington, and we know our stuff. We have a great CPA. We use a lot of artificial intelligence to, run our practice, and also hopefully better the retirement savings and the tax liability for a client. Hey, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully you've learned a little bit about qualified retirement plans and ways to, see if they work in your business or not. Once again, Ken French, and I'm out.